Krishna की श्रीमद् भागवतम की संवेद भक्त वृंद की जय गौतम। Hare Krishna. So we'll start the session with the prayers to the Guru Parampara. Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalaakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Dharamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yudapadakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatham Tam Sajiva Sadvaitam Sadhutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Deva Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamsha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namini Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Mukam karoti vachalam bangum langayate girim yatkravatamam vande Shri Gurum Deenatarinam. Hare Krishna. So we are discussing the third canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. We are right now in the 29th chapter. Last time we discussed 28th chapter. Anybody remembers the title of 28th chapter we discussed last time? It was something about devotional service. Yeah? Anybody? It's nice Srimad Prabhu is not here. Execution of devotional service. Yes. So just having a brief of what is happening here. So there is a dialogue between Lord Kapil Dev and his mother Devahuti is going on. And the whole third canto is coming to this point from the beginning of Vidura leaving the home after the insult from Duryodhan. And then Vidura finds out that how Lord has already disappeared from the face of the earth. And then by the will of providence he meets Maitreya. And then Maitreya Muni narrates him the meeting with Uddhava and Lord Shri Krishna. So Krishna, before disappearing, he already instructed Uddhava that you go to Badrikashram and instruct the sages who are residing there, because he was aware that Uddhava will not be able to tolerate the fire of separation after Krishna's disappearance. So then Uddhava goes to Badrikashram, but on the way, when Krishna says this, he goes to Prabhas Kshetra, and Uddhava also follows Krishna because he was not able to give up the association of the Lord. And then there, Lord speaks to Uddhava, and then Maitreya Muni also comes there. So we know this whole pastime. And then there is then Uddhava goes on, and then Vidura meets Maitreya, and then there is a description of Lord's pastime there and the creation. Vidura describes all these leelas, and Vidura is describing about the birth of Kapil Muni also. So in between there is a appearance of Jaya and Vijay, creation process also we have discussed, and then how Kashyap Rishi and Aditi, they had union, and then they gave birth to Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu, who were actually Jaya and Vijay. So this whole is there in the third canto, and then we reach the point of the Kardam Muni having married with Satrupa and Devashwat Manu. Who was the Manu? The father of Devahuti? Swayambhu Manu. Swayambhu Manu and Satrupa's daughter Devahuti, and then Kardam Muni, he wants to take leave, but then Devahuti asks that I don't have any son. So then, by the arrangement of the Lord, Kapil Muni appears there. So there's a dialogue between Kapil Muni and Devahuti happening here. So Kapil Muni is the Supreme Lord, and that's why whatever we are hearing here is from the lotus mouth of the Supreme Lord Himself. So today's chapter is explanation of devotional service by Lord Kapila. So this dialogue between Dev and Kapila Muni and Mother Devahuti is not any ordinary dialogue. That's why there is a small brief of the whole conversation. We will see what is all happening here. So this whole dialogue between Devahuti and Kapil Dev is between 25th chapter to 33rd chapter, and there is in the beginning only there is a question by Devahuti, Mother Devahuti, that I am bewildered by your Maya. Please dispel my illusion. So Devahuti was thinking that Kardam Muni तो अभी चले गए और जो मुझे एडवांटेज लेना चाहिए था एक सेज की वाइफ होने का वो मैं ले नहीं पाई, and that's why Devahuti insists that now you are there, you please dispel my illusion. And in this answer to this, in the 25th chapter, Kapil Dev answers to Devahuti by giving him the knowledge of Adhyatmic Yoga, which consists of Sankhya Yoga plus Bhakti Yoga. And then he also established superiority of Bhakti and the characteristics of a devotee. Then, question number 2 that Devahuti asks is Bhakti to attain you is easy. So recommendation come from Kapil Dev that actually Bhakti is beyond the modes. Okay. For those who are not qualified for it, he recommends Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti. So all of us are doing Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti. Okay. Then the process of Gyan was asked by Mother Devahuti. So to answer to this, Kapil Dev describes Sankhya. We have discussed this in the 26th and 27th chapter, characteristics of Prakriti, Purusha and other elements. And development of Virat Rupa, all these things we have discussed. Fourth process of yoga, and then answer to this we have discussed in the last chapter. Limbs of Ashtanga Yoga, we discussed how Yam, Niyam, Pranayam, Asan, Dharana, Dhyan. Description of Lord's form for Dharana, limb by limb. Description of Lord's form for Dhyana. This all we have discussed last time. And then now, in this chapter, Devahuti Mataji is asking about, she's asking 5 questions in the beginning. So we'll discuss that, what are those questions, path of bhakti in detail, and various classes of bhakti, characteristics of pure bhakti aligned. So now Kapil Muni is going in detail of devotional service. And then again, nature of time also asked by Devahuti. So then Kapil Muni gives characteristics of time, and continual birth and death of jivas also is there. So this will come in the 30 and 30 verse 32nd chapter. Okay. So the 5 questions which were asked by Mother Devahuti in this chapter is, we will see that this is all the things that we are going to see in the today's lesson. Kapil's descriptions of various classes of bhakti. So we have just seen that bhakti is beyond the 3 modes. But here in this chapter, Kapil Dev is going to describe about bhakti in 3 modes. All the different limbs of bhakti, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Archanam, Mandanam, Dasyam, Sakhyam, they are all in 3 modes also. Then obstacles in bhakti also discussed about by Kapil Dev, and gradation in jivas. We will see that how there are different grades of living entities and where are we right now, and the nature of time. This is all there in today's chapter. Okay. So we'll start with the questions by Mother Devahuti. The first question she asks is about the path of bhakti in detail. She wants to know more about bhakti, and which is the ultimate end of all philosophy. Second question she asked is about the nature of the time. What is the nature of time and how the time works, and by whose fear people perform pious acts. And then she also asks about the birth and death of the jivas, how it is going on. And hearing about this, one can become detached. This is the Falashruti. And then in the end, Devahuti also glorifies Kapila, that you are the Yoga Bhaskara, giving illumination to those who are deluded in the material world by false ego, who are blind, sleeping in samsara, fatigue due to attachment. So this is all just a very nice pretext before Kapil Dev start speaking. And then Kapil Dev starts speaking on the most important knowledge of Bhakti Yoga, which is in detail in this chapter. Okay, so this is the verse number 8, where Kapil Dev starts speaking. So you all can recite this verse. So one side is mode, one side is performer. So Kapil Dev in these three verses, starting his speech, and he is going to speak about bhakti in three modes. So first mode is mode of goodness, second is mode of passion, third is bhakti in mode of ignorance. So the first bhakti in mode of goodness, please decide. Abhisandhaya yohimsam dambham matsarayam evava samrambhi bhinna dragabhavam mai kuryat satamsaha. So when the performer of bhakti perform bhakti with the intentions of violence, pride and hatred, and there is no compassion, then that bhakti is a bhakti in the mode of ignorance. Okay. So this is little difficult to understand, difficult to see. There are not many example present, of devotee who is performing bhakti with the intention of violence. You can imagine you are sitting in the morning, for japa, and somebody is coming and he's performing bhakti with you because उसको पता है कि इधर कुछ violence करना है. So somebody is coming in the bhakti for doing some violence with pride and hatred, and there is no compassion. That is bhakti. So this is just a mere show of bhakti, who just want to harm the devotees. That kind of bhakti if somebody do. So of course that time these type of people were there, and we don't know today also it's Kali-yuga going on. So that is the mode of ignorance. Second is the bhakti in the mode of passion. Vishayan abhisandhaya yas aishwaryam eva va archadeva archayat yoma prathak bhava sarajasah. So performer of bhakti in this mode is he desires enjoyment, fame and opulence. Somebody who is specifically coming to bhakti just to have some fame and opulence. So sometimes it happens that devotee they see that ISKCON, some outer superficial part of ISKCON they see that which is actually not deep and just having some Kirtan and all this. So they come and having some glamour in that, and then they try to achieve some enjoyment through that and fame and opulence also. So sometimes people say that like कि हम लोग ISKCON में आए हैं फेमस होने के लिए, कुछ यहाँ पे ऐसा मिल जाए कि कुछ करके ऐसे YouTube चैनल वगैरह पे बहुत सारा nowadays is going on. So that's all bhakti in the mode of passion, and that's not a true bhakti. Then the third one is the bhakti in the mode of goodness. Karma nirharam udisya parasmin va tadarpanam यदेद यष्टाव्यम इति वा पृथक भावः स सात्विकः. So Kapil Dev says that one who performs bhakti with the intention of offering the karma phala or the whatever bhakti is doing, and who desires liberation. So here also there is a desire which is desire of liberation. So this is bhakti in the mode of goodness. So out of this, bhakti in the goodness is still the best, but devotees, do they desire for liberation? So for devotees, it's not about liberation. So in the next verse, he is going to describe about pure bhakti, which is beyond the modes. So this is a bhakti that we all want to achieve in our life beyond the modes. Please decide. Madguna shruti matrena मयि सर्व गुहासये मनोगतिर अविच्छिन्ना यथा गंगाम्भसो बुधु लक्षणानां भक्ति योगस्य निर्गुणस्य हि उद्धारतम् अहेतुकी अव्यवहिता या bhakti पुरुषोत्तमे. So this is the pure bhakti which is beyond modes. Somebody can read the translation loudly.
The manifestation of unadulterated devotional service is exhibited when one's mind is at once attracted to hearing the transcendental name and qualities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is residing in everyone's heart. Just as the water of Ganges flows naturally down towards the ocean, such devotional ecstasy, uninterrupted by any material condition, flows towards the Supreme Lord.
So this is the spontaneous bhakti where somebody, just like if you want to do some activity, somebody who wants to achieve something in life, like a businessman or an entrepreneur who want to do a startup, so he will all the time think about how to collect right information, how to do research, how to have manpower, how to collect funds for his startup. So he will be so much absorbed in the doing the startup that he will be all the time thinking about his business. So that's how the businessman's mind works. So like that, everybody may have some different desires which are deeply rooted in their heart, and when they want to achieve something in life, they will contemplate on that. So when that attachment is for achieving Krishna prem or achieving Krishna, so then that state is the unadulterated devotional service, when you want to do something without for Krishna, for without any desire for any returns. So that level of bhakti we want to achieve, and that's called as Rupanuga Bhakti. So right now the bhakti that we are doing is Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti, but by doing this Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti and by following the different limbs of Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti, we can come to the level of the Rupanuga Bhakti. So somebody asked Prabhupada once that is contemplation on God's greatness is superior to active service with senses. Just by thinking that you are doing some service, is it superior to really doing some services? Somebody asked Prabhupada. And this is from Kurma Prabhuji's book, The Great Transcendence. So Prabhupada said that Prabhupada actually avoided the discussion, and Prabhupada said that a stage which is defined as the marginal stage between material life and spiritual life. So Prabhupada said that such contemplation on God's greatness, he said, was called neutrality. So we are discussing creation, process of creation, and how Krishna is uh, creating the whole material universe, and then creation of Brahma from Garbhodakshay Vishnu, Shirodakshay Vishnu, and then Garbhodakshay Vishnu, and this whole 24 elements which come into being. So this we have already discussed that we want to discuss about this, and this is given in Bhagavatam so that we understand that Krishna is very great. And by knowing that Krishna is very great, what will happen? Prabhupada is saying that by knowing that somebody is great and just contemplating on that, so that is called न्यूट्रलिटी मतलब एक तरह से आप हम लोग उसके बारे में शांत है, हम लोग कुछ कर रहे नहीं है. ओके, कृष्णा इज ग्रेट, बट नाउ व्हाट टू डू? वी नो दैट एवरीथिंग इज गिवन टू अस बाय कृष्णा. 24 एलिमेंट्स में ईयर्स, नोज, eyes, everything is there, and five elements, earth, water, fire, air, ether. So everything that we see, that's given to us by Krishna. That great is Krishna. This world is created by Krishna. So even Prabhupada is saying just knowing that is a stage of neutrality. And Prabhupada is saying that after realizing the greatness of God, one would realize that all his activities in the world were more or less useless waste of time. And then one would naturally desire to actively render service to God. So Prabhupada is saying this is little hard, but so we can go back in our life flashback में और बहुत सारा जो हमने किया with whatever we have achieved in our life, and we have spent also a lot of time playing and doing lot of things which are actually just for enjoyment sake. So Prabhupada is saying here कि whatever we have done which was not connected with Krishna, they are activities in the world were more or less useless waste of time because it was not directed towards Krishna. So now it's 2026, and Kali-yuga's age is 4 lakh 32,000 years. So we are only into 5,000 years into Kali-yuga. So if we see that Kali-yuga's age, if we just assume that Kali-yuga's age is 100 year, percentage wise देखा जाए, so Kali-yuga is a 1-year-old baby now. And that 1-year-old baby is creating a lot of havoc in the world. We are having notifications, you're getting the news, what is it doing. So we can imagine if Kali-yuga is just beginning and it's creating so much of havoc, so what will happen in the future? So recently there was Bhagavatam class in the Jew and temple hall, and I heard that there was a discussion between the devotees So one Prabhuji was saying that Prabhupada said that we should finish our business in this life only, and then we should not think about taking another birth. So the Prabhuji who was giving the class, he said that actually a devotee who start bhakti and by some reason or because of some fault or some circumstances he goes away from bhakti. So in the next life he take again birth in the families of devotees. So in that way, and then he was saying that in fact he can also take birth in any other Brahmanda. So Prabhupada is there in some of the universe. There are so many universes, and in any other planet, any other universe, Prabhupada is preaching, and then devotees can join there also. Okay, so many I've heard of Maharaj saying that actually death for a devotee is a change of center. So डेथ मतलब अब इस्कॉन जू से निकल के किधर इस्कॉन कहीं खारगर में किधर और होने वाला है कनेक्शन. So for devotees it is like that. And then one devotee said that actually Prabhupada want us to finish our business in this life only. Why to take risk and then again, because Prabhupada know that again taking birth means again living in the womb of the mother for 9 months, and again learning, growing up, that all hardship we have to take. So that's why Prabhupada wants everyone in ISKCON to finish the business in this birth only, and then we don't want to see what Kali will do, as he grow up. So there was a story of a devotee, and this is very much connected with this verse. So there was one devotee of Lord, and she was by birth very very staunch follower of Lord, and she was always performing bhajan, and she was in Rajasthan. So Rajasthan whole desert area, she was there, and his father in Rajasthan, what they do is that they marry the girl in a very early age, and what the bridegroom goes in his home, and the girl, small girl, she stays in the home. That gauna hota hai fir. So that happened, and this girl was not aware. Actually, she was thinking that Krishna is his whole and soul. She was in that bhav, and then after the marriage happened, and she was in the home, so nobody informed him actually कि ऐसा हो गया, शादी हो गया, हमको जाना पड़ेगा. So by the time she grown up, she was performing bhajan, she was doing deity worship, she was having a very nice deities of Lord Krishna, and then suddenly one day one letter comes, and the mother says कि after 3 days your bridegroom is coming from the other village, अब गौने का time हो गया है, को लेके जाएंगे. So she was totally in shock, what to do. And then she asks her brother कि जिनके घर में जाने वाले हैं उनके घर में कोई भक्ति भजन होता है कि नहीं. They have some deities of Krishna, कुछ भजन होता है, कीर्तन होता है, कथा होता है, भागवतम. So his brother said, to be honest, actually वैसे तो कुछ नहीं होता है उनके घर में. They are all business people. So she was totally devastated, what to do. And then she tried to explain his father a lot that I will not be able to survive because without Krishna's bhakti, and please somehow or other break this marriage. But father was not able to do that because of the pressure of the society. And this lady, this girl, she then decided something. So on the day when the whole procession comes from the bridegroom side, and then they comes to bring that girl, she runs away from the home. And this father of this girl was the Rajguru of that area, Rajguru of that king of that area. And then the boys come, and the boy side everybody asks कि कहाँ है, लेके आइए लड़की को. And then the girl is not there, so they were searching here and there everywhere, she's not there. So then the father goes to the king and inform, he was the Rajguru. So king says, what can I do for you? So then he informed the situation कि ऐसा हो गया है, बेटी को लेने आए थे, वो है नहीं घर पे, ढूंढ रहे हैं सब लोग, उसको कहाँ गई. So then the king says कि what can I do? So then king gives him the whole army. तो सारे जो सैनिक है राज्य के, they all goes around in the desert to search that devotee. And that Mataji, she was going in the forest, so in the desert, there was nothing to hide, nowhere you can hide actually. And then she hears, after actually already 3 days, she was hungry, and she hears that there are some horses are coming. Some horses are coming, and she is looking here and there, place to hide. Nowhere actually in the desert where you can hide. And the horses and the soldiers were everywhere. So then she actually smells a very very bad odor from somewhere, and then she sees that there on the distance there is a dead body of a camel who died few days back. एंड यू नो ना कैसा स्मेल होता है, अभी चूहा भी मर जाता है तो कैसा स्मेल आता है, नो घर में तुरंत ढूंढना पड़ता है कभी, ऐसा होता है. तो सो देन you can imagine what was the order and what bad smell it was having. But she goes to find a place somewhere near, and then she decides, because of big carcass skeleton of that camel, and by the time she reaches there, she already feel like vomiting, and there are all insects and the body was decomposing and so bad order, and nobody was able to go near. But she decides that this is my only chance. If I somehow or other find a shelter here in the carcass, in the dead body, then the soldiers will go away, and then I'll go to Vrindavan. She was going to Vrindavan. So then she decided this, and then somehow or other she closed her nose, somehow or other she sat there. And the soldiers, they came, and nobody was able to come near the camel because of the bad order. So she has hidden herself for 2 days. 2 days she was there, and somehow or other she managed to stay alive. And then after that, she came out. She saw that there is no soldiers there, and she went to Vrindavan. And in Vrindavan, after reaching Vrindavan, she was in ecstasy. She became a very, very great saint there. And then everybody who was there, they saw that actually this is a very exalted devotee. And she is totally absorbed in chanting the name of the Lord. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So then she told this कि ऐसा ऐसा हुआ था, किसी को बताया उसने. तो then this story spread everywhere. If some devotee, one girl came from Rajasthan, and she hid in the dead body of a camel for 2 days. So सबके लिए एकदम, it was very difficult for everyone to accept. Then everyone asked her कि what happened? How did you actually did that? What was your inspiration? कैसे किया ऐसा? किसी dead body के पास में जाने में भी बहुत it's very, very difficult. So then she says that we are staying in the womb of the mother for 9 months, and just to come out and enjoy in the world. So 9 months अगर माँ के गर्भ में रह सकते हैं, और वो अंदर में सब जो भी रहता है, whatever liquid is there, and you cannot open your mouth, and everything is coming by the umbilical cord. So then she was saying that if we can do that for 9 months for worldly pleasure, so why can't 2 days of inside dead body for achieving Krishna in life? So that much dedication she has for Krishna. So this is an extraordinary devotee that, like, we know our Sampradaya, Raghunath Das Goswami, Raghunath Bhatt Goswami, they were all totally doing spontaneous bhaktis. But they were all acharyas, and they were manjaris. We know that they are all manjaris. Madhavendra Puri, he is the Kalpavriksha in the spiritual world. So now how we can achieve that state? So I'll just, before going ahead to the next verse, so there is some things which are given by in the Shastras, which is there. So Vedic Sadhana Bhakti, if we serve Krishna under an instruction of a bona fide spiritual master in a bona fide parampara, if we connect with someone and whatever seva they give, if we keep doing that along with our chanting 16 rounds, following regulative principles, and then of course our ABCD formula, book reading, chanting, and devotees association, so then that Raganuga Bhakti or a spontaneous devotion can be achieved. So it means that we are on the right path right now. We just have to be in this path, and then slowly, that spontaneous bhakti will be also awakened. So it is our great fortune by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada. So we'll go to the next verse. So here, after this, then Kapil Dev, he describes about devotees reject liberation if there is no seva is there. So devotees don't want liberation. We know that there is Sayoj liberation, merging into the body of the Lord. They don't want that. So what they want? They do bhakti as it gives prema. They just want to do bhakti of the Lord. So going ahead, and there is different angas of bhakti. Kapil Dev described different angas of bhakti. And in this, there is two things which are very important: swadharma and devotional acts without violence. Okay. So in the 16th verse, he speaks about deity worship. So madhishnya darshana sparsha. This is spoken by Kapil Dev, who is the Lord himself. He is speaking ki you should do to devotee that you should perform deity worship. पूजा स्तुति अभिवंदनः and bhuteshu mad bhavanaya satvena sangamen sa means be detached and have a spiritual vision. Okay. Going ahead, he again speaks about angas of bhakti and qualities of madhyam adhikari, and he said that Mahatam bahu manena deenanam anukampaya maitrya chaivatma tulyesa yamena niyamena cha. So respect, compassion, friendship, and regulation. Friendship with the devotees, compassion for each and every living entity, respect for everyone, and following the regulations. So again, different limbs of bhakti is describing. Okay, 18th verse. आध्यात्मिकानु श्रवणन नाम संकीर्णश्च में. सो यहाँ पे संकीर्तन के बारे में बताया, चैंटिंग द होली नेम ऑफ द लॉर्ड. एंड देन अर्जवैनर्य संगेन निराहरंक्य तथा मीन्स एसोसिएशन ऑफ डिवोटीज, हियरिंग, चैंटिंग, सिंप्लिसिटी एंड हैविंग एसोसिएशन ऑफ devotees. So following all these things, we are doing many of these limbs already, right? We are doing chanting, we are hearing, we are also having association of devotees. But in the purport, Prabhupada is writing about uh, bhakti in three modes. So this hearing and chanting can also be in three modes. So somebody can tell me what will be the hearing, what kind of hearing will be in the mode of ignorance. अगर कोई मोड ऑफ इग्नोरेंस में बैठा है भागवतम क्लास में और भगवान की लीला सुन रहा है लेकिन ही इज इन मोड ऑफ इग्नोरेंस, सो व्हाट काइंड ऑफ हियरिंग इट विल बी?
Mode of challenging the
Challenging, or mode of ignorance means like he will be sleepy, you know, and lazy, lethargic, and not very interested but sitting there, and because he is not giving attention he can take wrong meaning, misconceptions, all this. And what will be the mode of passion, hearing in mode of passion?
challenging
Having a challenging mood, and then he may also find an opportunity to get attention.
himself, right?
So sometimes we find devotees, they find an opportunity to grab attention kahin na kahin se. So that is hearing, or doing bhakti in a mode of passion. So like that, then there is hearing in the mode of goodness also, where a devotee hear very attentively and try to grab whatever is best from the speaker. So like that, all the angas of bhakti, they can be performed in these three modes, and our aim is to reach to that level of goodness, and then cross the goodness also. So after that, then there will be no false ego as per Kapil Dev. And then what will happen? He's saying in the 19th verse that purified by the angas of bhakti, the mind is attracted simply by shravanam. And just as air carries aroma from its source, bhakti carries one's mind to the Lord. So this is 19th and 20th verse. So this whole process is there with us. We can observe, we can have a assessment, self assessment, that what kind of japa we are doing. Is it mode of ignorance, mode of goodness, mode of passion? What kind of hearing we are doing? Are we very attentive? Are we making notes while hearing the class? Are we actually Prabhupada also said, many times we hear from devotees that after the class or after reading, you should write an essay, or you should remember what you have heard. Radhesham Prabhu says that every day you should hear one lecture. Many times we have a habit of hearing so many lectures throughout the day, and then next day we remember some things here, from something from there. Radhesham Prabhu says that you should hear one lecture, and then throughout the day think about the lecture, what you have heard, and how you can apply in your life. So like that, regularly by doing this, automatically what will happen, that mind will be attracted, and then that's actually hearing in the mode of goodness. So by doing this, our original identity will be awakened, which is a identity of a eternal servant of Krishna. So right now, I can speak about myself. My position is like a fire which is covered by ashes. That's given in the scriptures. Our all the jivas, they are like fire which is covered in the ashes. This is the ash of ignorance, And then when we keep doing the very sadhana bhakti, automatically the ashes will go away and the real fire will come outside. So we just have to reawaken. It's already there. It's our constitutional position. Automatically by performing bhakti, and it will raganuga bhakti will come. Now going to the obstacles of bhakti, 21st to 24th verse, Kapil Dev speaks about the different obstacles. So these three obstacles Kapil Dev points out in this chapter, which is disregard, hatred, and criticism. So disregard means aham sarveshu bhuteshu bhutatma vasthitah sada tam avagnya mam mrityu kurute richa vidambanam. So here Kapil Dev is saying that all the living entities, they are my part and parcel. And somebody who worship me, but he disrespect other jivas. Okay. So then that person actually, this word vidambana means he's in ajnana. He's actually, he will be not be favored by Lord. Lord will not be happy. I have seen in with my own eyes that यहाँ पे राधा रासबेरी टेम्पल में कुछ सेवा चल रही थी, and somebody actually was not doing in a proper way, and one devotee, he slapped the other devotee in front of the Lord, and everybody was looking there. So it was not very good. And after some days, that the other devotee who slept, he actually left bhakti. He left the temple after some days. So Lord will not be happy if we worship Lord every day, do all our bhakti, whatever angas are bhakti, we are doing very nicely, but at the same time disrespecting other devotees and even other jivas, because going ahead in this chapter there is a whole gradation of jivas. So we will see that Lord wants that we respect everyone. And then going ahead, Vishitah paraka kaye manmananu didha sridha bhuteshu buddha vaishramya mana santim rakshati. So having hatred towards other living beings while maintaining very nice sadhana, very nice bhakti, but having hatred in the heart for other devotees, that will also not be tolerated by devotees. And what to speak about criticism? So these are all obstacles in bhakti that the Kapil Dev is pointing out. Okay. If one's dealing with others has disregard, hatred, and criticism, then his worship of me is imitation. Lord is saying in this verse, in the translation, if you read, Lord is saying that he's just imitation. He's doing chanting, he's doing deity worship or whatever घर में कर रहे हैं, सब कर रहे हैं, but it is will be just considered as imitation and it oblations in ashes. Okay, so it is like you are paying obeisances to the deities of Lord, लेकिन it is equal to paying obeisances to ashes. ऐसे खुद कपिल देव कह रहे हैं, if you do that, and there will be no peace in the life of such a devotee. So this is very very important for us to know. This is the obstacle that can come in our devotional life. Uh, Recently, we were there in Vrindavan, and there was one devotee. He was speaking about this topic, and he says that because of social media nowadays, ninda is very easy. Previously, before the age of social media and all, what used to happen, like Prabhupada time. So there was one center, and if you want to connect with other centers devotees, then you have to write letters and then wait for the reply. Now everything is online. So it is making the process very nice also. We can have more association of the devotees, but the dark side of that is that now the gossip also can go on through the social medias and all. So he was saying that it's very bad to hear, and but it's strong. So I have to speak. So he said that previously it was a dry stool, now it's wet stool, more juicy. So gossiping about the devotees doing ninda is compared with stool, and we are here to attract our heart and to invite the Lord in our heart by doing bhakti. But this is something that we really want to actually don't look at and don't want to do. So then the solution is that realizing the presence of Lord in everyone, have a equal vision. That's what Kapil Dev says. Now having a equal vision has a more meaning into it, because now going ahead, Kapil Dev gives the whole gradation of jivas, whole gradation. So इसमें पूरा एक बहुत बड़ा chart है. So I'll start this. So Living entity means soul. It is there in everywhere. In the Bhagavad Gita second chapter, we know that verse where it is given that soul is omnipresent. What is that verse? Sarva. Anybody remembers that verse? Sarvagatam. Sarvagatam. So soul is Sarvagatam. So the first starting the gradation of gradation of the living entity starts with the inanimate object. So it is given in the purport. Prabhupada is writing that even sometimes the stone also grow in size. सुना है कभी किसी ने? पहले के टाइम पे ऐसे होता था. इवन महाभारत में लिखा हुआ है मोक्ष धर्मा सेक्शन में कि उस समय पे स्टोन्स भी ग्रो होते थे एंड अभी भी होते होंगे. यू डोंट नो दैट, नो नॉट हो. तो देयर आर सोल्स इनसाइड स्टोन आल्सो. So in our culture we also see that sometimes we respect everything and stones are also a part of that. So inanimate object also comes under uh, living beings. Then living immovable entities. So here the plants come and it is said that plants can, we all know that plants has lives, but plants can smell also and plants can feel. So the examples of plants having life we already studied. Jagdish Chandra Bose, he's proved that. And plants makes their way if there is some obstacle in between. So plant जो है वो दूसरे side से उग जाता है, देखा होगा हमने. Okay, so like that. So plant have also a sense of smell. And then comes entities with greater life symptoms. So more symptoms start growing. Entities with developed consciousness. So in this comes there is some entities which has like after the plants come the insects, small insects. Fish they have a sense of touch also. So after fish then comes the serpents. They have a sense of hear also. Snakes can hear from a longer distance, and that's how they catch the frog, because frog is croaking somewhere. And then Prabhupada is writing in the purport that frogs croaking and snakes catching is compared with the jivas doing prajalpa. So that's how it happens. And then beings with touch sensation, beings with taste sensation, beings with the sense of smell, beings who can hear. So ये सब धीरे धीरे इंसेक्ट के कैटेगरी में आ गए बढ़ते बढ़ते. Then there are beings who can distinguish forms. So it is said that crows can remember the forms. Crows जब देख लेते हैं एक बार, और भी कुछ बर्ड्स जब देख लेते हैं एक बार तो याद रखते हैं. तो यहाँ पे लेवल धीरे धीरे बढ़ते जा रहा है. एंड ग्रेडेशन में फिर एंटिटीज विथ 2 सेट्स ऑफ टीथ, एंड देन बीइंग्स विथ मेनी लेग्स. उसमें वो some insects na, which crawl and having many legs, slowly going ahead. Animals with 4 legs. Okay, तो ये आगे कैटेगरी बढ़ते जा रहा है. These are all we have to, ये सब क्यों जान रहे हैं हम लोग? Because we have to see all of them as with equal vision and see the Lord inside them. That's why it is given. We know that Guru Maharaj, His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj, whenever he was going for a walk, he was always looking, is there some ants are there. Many times he stopped the devotees कि यहाँ से जो है वो कुछ स्वीट वगैरह पड़ा है तो उसको हटा दो, एंड्स जो है वो मर जाएगी. एक बार एक डिवोटी को क्लीनिंग करने बोला था बाथरूम में, तो उसने क्लीनिंग करते करते एंड्स को भी मार दिया. सो महाराज वाज वेरी एंग्री ऑन हिम. सो दैट इज द इक्वल विजन, दैट्स द लेवल ऑफ प्योर डिवोटी. सो दे हैव सो मच कंपैशन फॉर ऑल द लिविंग बीइंग. प्रभुपाद का भी स्टोरी है. मायापुर में एक बार आई थिंक इट वाज अ लिजर्ड और सम अदर एनिमल हु केम. इंसेक्ट था, छोटा सा इंसेक्ट था. एंड देन प्रभुपाद सेड द डिसाइपल कि उसको हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र बोल के बाहर खिड़की से रख दो कहीं बाहर. So having that equal vision. Humans with 2 legs. Now humans starts, अभी पूरा कैटेगरी बचा है humans में. Then there are humans who don't follow any varnashram. We know that 4 varnas. Okay, and the 4 ashramas everybody knows. Yeah, brahmachari, grihast, vanprasth, sannyas, and brahman, kshatriya, vaishya, shudra. So don't follow non-varnash, they are coming to non-varnashrama humans. Okay, so many of the big celebrities and businessmen and all those who we follow, they are in this category, non-varnashram, जो बहुत हम लोग उनको बहुत follow करते हैं. Then comes the devotees who the people, humans who are in varnashram, who are following varnashram. Then comes brahmanas. And ब्राह्मणों में भी फिर बहुत सारा कैटेगरी है. देयर आर ब्राह्मणस हु नोज वेदा, एंड देन उससे भी बड़े होते हैं ब्राह्मणस हु नोज मीनिंग्स ऑफ वेदास, जस्ट नोइंग, नॉट ओनली नोइंग, जस्ट knowing the meaning also. And then there are brahmanas who can dispel doubts. who don't only know the Vedas, they can dispel doubts also. And then also, उससे भी बड़े होते हैं Brahmana who also follows his duties. Just not they don't just know the Vedas, they don't just dispel the doubts, they also follow the duties. और उससे भी बड़े living being होते हैं जो liberated होते हैं, already liberated. And उस सबसे टॉप पे कौन आते हैं? Pure devotees. Pure devotees who have attained love for God. So ये सारा जो ग्रेडेशन है इसमें अभी हम लोग कहाँ पे हैं देख लीजिए इन 2026 आफ्टर गोइंग थ्रू many many species of life इसमें ग्रेडेशन में कहाँ कहाँ रहे होंगे and now we are having a good chance here. We are situated in a very nice place now under a bona fide sampradaya. We are getting guidance from the devotees. Okay, so our position is very good here if we just perform bhakti nicely. We're going ahead. This is all the verses that Kapil Dev speaks about having an equal vision. And so then comes then Devotee Mata ask about time. How then, what is time? How it manifests? What are the symptoms of time? So all these things she asks. So, but going ahead, there are devotees who have actually developed equal vision, and because of this, they are favored by Lord. So, anybody remembers any story of a devotee having equal vision, and because of that, he was favored by Lord? Prahlad Maharaj. Prahlad Maharaj was very compassionate towards all the living beings. He was teaching to the his friends in Gurukul who were actually Asura boy in the demonic race, but he was teaching everyone. He was having so much compassion, so much so that he said to Narsimdev that I don't want anything. I just want कि आप सबको liberation दे दीजिए. So like that. Anyone else? Shivanand Sen, because he saw the dog who was there, and he said that we should not leave the dog. We should always keep him with us. And because of which the dog actually got the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Srila Prabhupada, we all know, he never discriminated. He gave opportunities to everyone. And he, in fact, devotees, when Prabhupada went to Africa, devotees बोल रहे थे कि अफ्रीका में वो लोग कुछ स्पेशल जगहों पे टारगेट कर रहे थे, but Prabhupada said no, we will go to the interiors also. And in fact, Prabhupada's mercy was to such extent that one day, one place where Prabhupada was giving lectures, so जहाँ पे रुके थे वहाँ पे प्रभुपाद के कपड़े सुखाए हुए थे सामने ग्राउंड में. And then Prabhupada, morning, Prabhupada saw his clothes were stolen. And then he came to give the lecture and he saw the audience, somebody was wearing Prabhupada's kurta, Prabhupada's chadar shawl was there with someone. So they were very innocent thieves who were stealing from Prabhupada, but Prabhupada was so merciful, and because of that, now we see that there is so much preaching is happening in Africa. So, so many such examples we can think about where just by changing the view, Lord becomes very happy. So, Narad Muni, he reached Mragari, who was killing the ants and all the animals, half killing them, and then Narad Muni preached him, and he became a devotee. Yes, Yudhishthir Maharaj, while going back to the spiritual world, back to the heaven through the Mana village, Badrinath, and then there was one dog who was following, and it is said that the Pandavas, when they were going towards the hill, and as they were climbing, and one after another, all the Pandavas left their body. So started with Draupadi, then Nakul, Sahadev, then Arjuna also, and then Bhim. So everybody was not able to go to the heavenly abode with their body. But then Yudhishthir Maharaj, so Yudhishthir Maharaj was not having any fault in him. So like everybody, Draupadi, Nakul, Sahadev, Bhima, Arjuna, they were all having some fault. Like Bhima was having some pride in his strength, Arjuna was having some pride in his archery, like that. Nakul, Sahadev were also like that, and because of that, so when Yudhishthir Maharaj he reached there, so Indra came to receive him. It is said, and then Indra asked Yudhishthir Maharaj, "Ki come with me now." So Indra said that I will only come if you allow this dog in heaven. So in the Yudhishthir Maharaj said, Like that Indra said, अरे हेवंस में जा रहे हैं हम लोग और हेवन में ये डॉग आएगा, इस इट्स नॉट अलाउड, डॉग्स आर नॉट अलाउड इन हेवन. हेवंस में सब लोग बहुत they are having very beautiful bodies and everywhere there is good fragrance, everybody follows. So with this body he cannot go. So Yudhishthir Maharaj said, I will not go if you will not allow, because he has taken my shelter, and if he is under my shelter I will not go to heaven. And immediately what happens, that dogs transforms into यमराज, धर्मराज. एंड ही सेज दैट मैं आपकी परीक्षा ले रहा था, and आप परीक्षा में पास हो गए, और फिर यमराज, इंद्र और युधिष्ठिर महाराज तीनों जाते हैं फिर हेमंत साथ में. सो दिस इज द equal vision, the example of equal vision that we can see and we can apply in our life. So we should always be very compassionate. Sometimes we should think about our friends. Like I sometimes feel about my friends कि अब तो उनसे मैं कन्वेक्शन में नहीं रह सकता, because they will not understand bhakti. And I tried to reach out to them. They just make fun of me. हमारे साथ सबके साथ होता है भक्ति में आने के बाद, हमारे फ्रेंड्स कहीं ना कहीं रह जाते हैं. But okay, somehow or other, we can send prasadam or invite them to temple. Somehow or other, try to bring them, because our position was also like that. I'm speaking about me. I was also doing the same thing, which हम sometimes we say ना कि अरे बाहर के लोग तो भक्ति नहीं करते, ये सब इसमें busy रहते हैं. But the compassion should be there. Now we know that they take shelter of all these nuisance and sinful activities because there is a lot of problems in their life. तो इतनी प्रॉब्लम्स है कलयुग में. There are so much of unemployment and pressure. Students also going through a lot of problems. So then they go in wrong direction. So we have an opportunity to book distribution. Always it's available to us, and that's why we should carry small books always. Naveen Neeraj Prabhuji says that we should always carry small Prabhupada books. And by our preaching nothing will happen. 2-3 मिनट 5 मिनट आधा घंटा भी आप समझा देंगे किसी को तो अगले दिन इवेपोरेट हो जाएगा माइंड से. बट अगर वो प्रभुपाद जी का एक बुक उसके पास में रहेगा तो there is chances that he can actually come to temple. So many such miracles are there, so many such miraculous stories are there. And then when we want to do something for the Lord also takes interest to save us from the effect of Kali-yuga. There was a story, there was one base सेंटर था वहां पे दिल्ली में, और डिवोटीज थे वहां पे. यूथ सेंटर था, तो यूथ सेंटर में भक्ति होती थी, बढ़िया सुबह मंगल आरती होती थी. एंड वहां का रेंट था 4,000 रुपीज, लॉन्ग बैक. एंड वन डे व्हाट हैपेंड दैट द ऑनर केम एंड ही सेड कि मैं रेंट बढ़ा रहा हूँ अभी, तो अभी 4,000 की जगह पे 15,000 रेंट है अभी, और कल से ही रेंट बढ़ रहा हूँ, और कल के कल 2 रेंट, नहीं तो फिर जगह खाली कर. सो डिवोटीज वेयर इन बिग ट्रबल, व्हाट टू डू नाउ. तो उसको बहुत समझाया, अरे हम लोग कहाँ जाएंगे, रातों रात आप बोल रहे हो. तो सब लोग बहुत प्रॉब्लम में थे. उसने बोल दिया था कि सुबह मैं पूरा खाली करवा दूंगा, तो वो बाहर निकाल दूंगा. सो होल नाइट दे chanted Narsimha prayers. Devotees, whenever there is some trouble, they take shelter of Narsimha. So whole night they chanted the Narsimha prayers, then they slept, then they woke up early in the morning, and they were looking for here and there some place. So one person came, safari suit, he met them. He was a well-to-do person, and then he asked their problem and he gave them a place. तो उनको थोड़ा सा अच्छा प्लेस दे दिया, उसका थोड़ा रेंट भी कम था. एंड दे वेर ट्राइंग टू शिफ्ट. तो वो जब शिफ्टिंग के लिए गए तो उनको पता चला कि वो जो आदमी था, जो किराएदार था, so whole night they were doing kirtan and he was having 5 flats. अलग अलग सिटीज में थे, कुछ फ्लैट इधर मुंबई में, कहीं पे दिल्ली में 3-4 फ्लैट थे. सारे फ्लैटों में आग लग गई एक साथ रात में, when they were praying to the Lord. So Lord was responding to the prayers of the devotees. And many times during book distribution we also see many such events. Especially if you want to see this or experience this, you are invited to join our traveling Sangeetam party. It does not matter, if you have some holidays for 1 week, you can come and experience that traveling Sangeetam, especially when we travel with the bus in different places. So there we see the intervention of the Lord so much, because we are looking for new places every day. It's like adventure, life full of adventure. So you can join, be a monk for a month or be a monk for a year. Especially those boys who are not married, क्योंकि boys का ही होता है उसमें. So it's very nice if you join for 1 year. So going ahead, then Mother Devahuti asks about time, and there are some important points that Kapil Dev speaks about time. So he says that time causes transformations of material objects. Time is another feature of the Supreme Lord. He's the shelter of everyone. Time enters everyone's heart. How can we understand that? How time enters everyone's heart? Okay, by the time we can feel change in our heart. So time is entering in our heart. He is master of all masters. It causes every being to be annihilated by another, holds no one dear. Time cannot see that okay, somebody is having so much bank balance in their account, or somebody is a very small child, and time will not feel compassion towards that. Whenever the time will come, he will go away. Inspires devotees and destroy those who forget the Lord. Time also inspires devotees because time is the energy of Lord. Time. Krishna is saying, Kalosmi Bhartarshava. So you can imagine we are being devoted to Lord, and then how even time can help us. लोग बोलते हैं ना बुरा समय आ रहा है, बहुत बुरा समय चल रहा है, तो यू बिकम अ डिवोटी ऑफ कृष्णा एंड देन टाइम इटसेल्फ विल इंस्पायर डिवोटी. यहाँ लिखा हुआ है टाइम ही आपको हेल्प करेगा, मतलब जितना भी बुरा समय चल रहा है वो अच्छा हो जाएगा क्योंकि टाइम ही अच्छा होने वाला है. So like that, demigods function because of the fear of time. Okay, so it is given there how sun, flowing rivers, oceans, fire god, even the Bhumi, planet Earth, everything actually is doing their duties every day because of the fear of God. Sky provides spaces, universal body expands. ये सब प्रभुपाद जी ने purport में लिखा हुआ है. And the scientists and the so-called intelligent class of the world, they don't understand this. They think that there is some gravity force or something, some scientific phenomena is there. तो dark matter है, dark energy है, ऐसे नए नए नाम देते रहते हैं. But they don't understand. Krishna is saying that I am sustaining the planet in the orbits. All the planets are moving in the orbit because of my energy, Krishna is saying. So we cannot even live for a 1 second without the mercy of Krishna. And then it is said, time is unchanging, time is without beginning, it causes everyone's birth, without end, it causes everyone's death, and it dissolves the universe by destroying even the Lord of Death, Yamraj. So, in the purport, Prabhupada is writing that time destroys even the demigods. Even Yamraj also has to die. So, even if they live for millions of years, Prabhupada is writing, Devi Devta कई अरबों साल तक के जी सकते हैं बट वन डे दे ऑल्सो हैव टू लीव द बॉडी. सो टाइम इज लाइक दैट. So it is our duty now, after knowing all this, whatever we have discussed, that we also try to achieve that intense greed for attaining Krishna's service, Krishna's Vedi Bhakti. We all know the story of the woman who climbed the body of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Jagannath Puri to see the darshan of the Lord. And चैतन्य महाप्रभु जब उनके सारे अंतरंग पार्षदों ने देखा कि एक औरत आके चैतन्य महाप्रभु के शरीर पे चढ़ रही. चैतन्य महाप्रभु वाज टेकिंग दर्शन ऑफ लॉर्ड फ्रॉम द गरुड़ स्तंभ. आपने देखा है किसी ने जगन्नाथपुरी टेम्पल में? तो गरुड़ स्तंभ के पास में वो दर्शन दे रही थी. एंड देन शी वॉज सो डेस्परेट टू सी द लॉर्ड. हम लोग धक्का मुक्की होता है तो हम लोग देखते हैं ना थोड़ा ग्लिम्स मिल जाए कुछ. शी वॉज सो डेस्परेट दैट शी क्लाइंब द लॉर्ड ओनली. तो वो भगवान के ऊपर चढ़ के भगवान को ही देख रही है. शी वॉज नॉट अवेयर अबाउट, but she was so intense and everybody thought ki Lord will be angry, but Lord was very happy by seeing the bhav of that lady. So what are we desperate to see every day? Are we desperate to see the newspaper? Are we desperate to see who messaged us in WhatsApp every day after waking up early in the morning? What is coming in our consciousness? That is, even coming in our dreams also. What is our attachment, hankering? So that has to be worked out. And I know by the association of all of you, and even for my own purification also, I need association of all the devotees, and I need your blessings and prayers also. And that's why we are going for yatras also, to increase our attachment to Lord. And definitely we can actually, at least by sticking to the principles and by together we can, एक saying है ना जो motivational speaker बोलते हैं, we can apply that in our bhakti life also. All these inspirational motivational speakers, they say that together we can. Okay, so Prabhupada has gave us a vote of ISKCON where we all are there, and we are all from different parts of society and different parts of world. So what is happening that sometimes there is joint family and there is some friction here and there, and it's a very big family of Prabhupada. But we have to understand that we all have to be with each other. So by performing bhakti together, Sankirtana, because it's a bhakti has to perform with each other, Sankirtana. So I need your blessing so that I can also remain with all of you and follow the authorities. Hare Krishna. So this is today's uh, discussion. Gradation of jivas, nature of time, obstacles in bhaktis, Kapila Dev described various classes bhakti, mode of goodness, passion, and ignorance, and then devotees further questions. Okay. Anyone has any question? I got this intimation by Narottam Prabhuji just few hours back that I have to give class. So whatever I could prepare, I just please forgive me for any mistakes. Hare Krishna.
Very Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much for teaching within such less time you prepared such wonderfully. This, at least for me, it was very wonderful.
I just got the slides.
Even the explanation actually goes beyond slides. And that is not covered in slide, that is covered in the preparation. So, I just only concern or question one other. That from as you said that from in association with devotee we learn so many things. So you are a senior devotee, devotee, and their realizations are much better than ours. So because in me that is embedded that I, me, and mine always carry over this. That we hear this on Saturday, we read in class, and for some time glimpses comes that we should do it like this. Supposing basic or lines of species, we are getting this rare human birth, and this is just doing waste like that, getting engaged in medical activity. So, what could be that the kind of realization of yours, what you heard from your community, that we can most of the time think about no or can make it 24/7 in that way, so that material entanglement does not affect us more and more.
Thank you so much. So it's your humility that you are saying that.
Just asking for my answer.
So we all have felt our detachment or our whatever things we were hankering for previously before coming to bhakti. It is diminished to certain extent. How many of you feel like that? Ki whatever attachments we had before coming to bhakti, now it's gone, or it's not completely gone, but it's diminished to a very very big extent. So it means that we are making progress in bhakti, and of course all the devotees say that because of our previous samskaras, those pulls will come again and again, and then the mind will pull back to us. But there will always be a constant struggle. So having a mood of an army man, Prabhupada's army, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's army is there. Prabhupada was the general. Prabhupada is the general. So, army, what they do, they're very disciplined. That's why when devotees from army they join, many of our sannyasis they're from army, and devotees because they know the discipline, the power of discipline, and discipline is very important because it is said that discipline is bigger than motivation. बिकॉज मोटिवेशन मिल गया किसी ने कुछ बोल दिया और फिर वो डिसिप्लिन अगर नहीं है तो वो मोटिवेशन फिर से जा सकता है बट डिसिप्लिन इज इनफैक्ट आई ऑल्सो हैव टू अप्लाई आई एम स्पीकिंग बट डिसिप्लिन आई हैव हर्ड एंड व्हाट आई अंडरस्टैंड इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट and if we are very regular in our daily sadhana morning sadhana even uh, all the maharajas they say that even if you don't come to for mangal arti you should do mangal arti at your home and chant your 16 rounds. So if we are fixed up and disciplined that every day we have to do this number of rounds at this time, and then there is a one more thing is that when you make खिचड़ी खिचड़ी अब पता नहीं प्रभु जी लोग को आता है कि नहीं माता लोगों को तो सबको आता होगा खिचड़ी बनाते सो यू टेक अ सर्टेन पोर्शन ऑफ ईच इंग्रेडिएंट राइट सो यू अगर आप उसमें 500 ग्राम राइस ले रहे हैं so then you will add some few spoons of salt and all these things अगर आप सब चीज 500 ग्राम लेंगे तो then आपका खिचड़ी बिगड़ जाएगा अब इमेजिन कीजिए 500 ग्राम चावल में 500 ग्राम नमक डाल दिया 500 ग्राम मिर्ची डाल दिया खिचड़ी पूरी बिगड़ जाएगी so like that in our life also we have to understand that we have to use the circumstance or the position the family or whatever position we are in now to use that whole circumstance to progress in bhakti तो उसमें आपकी फैमिली भी आती है आपके रिलेशनशिप्स आते हैं आपकी ड्यूटीज आती है आपका जॉब आता है एंड देन उसमें आपका फिर एक कैटेगरी हम बना सकते हैं सो वी डिड दिस एक्सरसाइज इन गोवर्धन रिट्रीट सेंटर फ्यू मंथ्स बैक एंड Prabhuji who was there who was conducting the session and he gave us a chart. So उसमें ना उन्होंने ऐसे एक सर्कल बनाया हुआ था, और उसमें ऐसे अलग अलग स्लाइसेस, जैसे पिज्जा होता है ना, इमेजिन पिज्जा बनाया था उन्होंने। उसमें स्लाइस में एक स्लाइस चैंटिंग है, एक स्लाइस रीडिंग का है, एक स्लाइस हियरिंग का है, एक स्लाइस फैमिली का है, एक स्लाइस फ्रेंडशिप का है, विच इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। ही वाज सेइंग फ्रेंडशिप इज ऑल्सो इंपॉर्टेंट बिकॉज यू शुड हैव समथिंग टू शेयर। आपके जो भी हार्ट है, यू शुड हैव समवन टू ओपन योर हार्ट। तो ये सारे फैक्टर्स हैं उसमें, ड्यूटीज, हियरिंग, चैंटिंग, रीडिंग। तो ऐसे करके उन्होंने, आई शेयर दैट पीडीएफ। सो क्या होगा कि उसमें हम लोग देख रहे हैं कि उसमें फिर उन्होंने बताया कि आपका ये कितना परसेंटेज अच्छा है। तो उसमें सब डिवोटीज ने देखा कि माई चैंटिंग इज नॉट गुड, माई हियरिंग इज नॉट दैट गुड। तो उसमें 1 to 100% का ऐसे मार्किंग था, तो सबने कुछ कुछ मार्किंग दिया। सो वी कैन सेल्फ असेस अवर सेल्फ कि मेरा जो है वो नो हाउ मच, बिकॉज इफ यू विल नॉट हैव नाइस, सी इफ यू आर डूइंग वेरी नाइस sadhana, but there is a lack of giving time to family or relationships, or health was there. So if you ignore that, then आपका खिचड़ी खराब हो जाएगा, आपका भक्ति जो है वो अच्छे से नहीं चलेगा। तो we have to also be aware about having this balance of giving as much time as needed to different aspects of life. And with that, because we are doing everything, health we are maintaining so that we can serve Krishna. So family is there for Krishna. So slowly then what will happen, because we are giving importance to everything, and then problems will not come, that much problems will not come. Hare Krishna. Okay, so it's Purushottam Mass going on, so I thought of singing Chaura Ashtakam with all of you, so that we can remember the beautiful, wonderful nectar and pastimes of the Lord, and